What is up, everybody? It's your boy Matt Turner back again with another video. This time it is going to be fitness related because you guys asked for more fitness content. I am definitely going to give it and deliver. Real quick, as you can tell by the title, I will be going over 4 things that I wish I had done when I started HRT, or when I, finally started transitioning medically. Before we even hop right into it, make sure to go ahead and like and share this video. I have nothing but good content, hopefully, with these tips, because they are truly, now that I'm about 2 years into my fitness journey seriously, and about almost also 2 years on testosterone, these are definitely things that I look back on and I'm like, damn, I could be so much further now if I had actually started with these things. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. So first thing, obviously you got my notes, is that I would start with implementing cardio. And these are in no particular order, so it's not like this is the most important thing that I would have done. They're just tips randomly. So it's not until, I would say, this past few months, once I got back from San Francisco and having top surgery, that I really got serious about my cardio. For those of you who follow me on Instagram, you know that I do almost about 7 hours of cardio a week. I do an hour after my lifting sessions, and I do 2 hours on non-lifting days, not including Saturdays and Sundays. So that equals out to roughly about, 7 hours. If you are not doing cardio, I highly suggest. It is just gonna make your life easier in the long run. A, because your heart is the most important muscle. You always wanna be doing cardiovascular health. Make sure you are in tip-top shape, and the best way to do that is cardio. Just all around, it's gonna help with blood pressure, like legit. When I started doing cardio, like my blood pressure dropped. I was like at 120, and then I started doing cardio, not even intense cardio like I'm doing now. I was just doing really like trying to meet the 150 minutes recommendation, and I went from like 120 to like 117. And so that obviously really helps. If you're not doing cardio yet, start doing cardio. You don't have to do exactly 150 minutes. If you can't get 150 minutes, just do more than what you're doing now. 30 minutes of cardio a day is well more than enough than the average person. That's basically what the 150 minutes will equal out to. If you do 30 minutes of cardio a day, you're gonna basically end up doing 150. But obviously build up. I'm only able to do as much cardio as I am now because, as you guys know, I did track for 13 years, so I am not afraid of cardio. I hate it, but I'm not afraid of it, and it doesn't have to be intense cardio. All I do right now is I walk on the treadmill at an incline. Specifically, I do walking because I'm focused on maintaining as much muscle as possible, so I want to do moderate intensity, low impact cardio. So that's going to be like walking, using the bikes, things like that. Anything that's really just not gonna put a lot of, soreness and strain on the big muscle groups, so like your quads and things like that. I was doing jump rope, kind of stopped with that for that exact purpose, but like, it's not gonna harm you if you do it. Just do what you find and enjoy, do what you enjoy, and it's all gonna come together eventually. Number 2, I hate this so much. So right now I am cutting. I'm about 20% body fat, roughly floating around there, 20 to 21%. And I am trying to cut down to 15%. For those of you who don't know, I used to weigh like 200 pounds and I now weigh 165, which is only about 10 more pounds than I did before I started T. So I'm basically dropping back down to the weight I was pre-T. And honestly, when I first started testosterone, I was like, oh, I'm gonna use this to like really make sure that I get as much muscle as possible, and just like I ate everything that I could. And I was like going based off of calculators. Calculators are not accurate. Do not, I mean, use them as a guidance, but don't use them as like end all be all. Track your calories throughout the day and throughout the week and see about where you are, which is what I did. The calorie counters were always saying I need to be eating like 2,500. I definitely know my maintenance is well closer to like 1,800, probably 2,000 max. So about the average male. And I was trying to eat way more than I really needed to, and that really messed up my body. I will not lie. I wish I had cut so that at my current time I could be doing a bulk, if that makes sense, because now I'm cutting when I really just want to be packing on muscle, but I value seeing muscle definition over having a ton of muscle, so I have to cut and then bulk. And for those of you who follow me, you know that, again, I was doing a recomp in the beginning. That was very successful, so you can also start with a recomp, but for me specifically, cutting would have definitely been ideal. And so it's just most people just want to be lean, so just start with a cut. Honestly, that's my opinion. You gotta go based off of what works best for you, but if it had been me talking to myself 2 years ago, I would have been like, bulking's not the way, homie, don't do it. It's not gonna end well. So yes, cut. Also though, for those of you who don't want to cut, I would also say lean bulking. So for instance, when I was bulking, I was just eating everything on the other side. I was in college, so I had access to all of this food, and I was literally just eating like pizza, everything. I wasn't taking into account like nutrition or whatever. I would say lean bulking probably would have been more beneficial if I didn't do the cut than just doing a complete bulk, honestly. Number 3, and actually if I had to give any one of these like a top, like, oh, like do this for sure, is definitely focus on nutrition over just, you know, using supplements. One person told me this in the beginning on Reddit. I'm sure you could scroll back through my history. You'll see I was very, very much against, you know, like just not using protein powder or anything. And I can look back on that and say I was definitely foolish. Don't let your ideas of, you know, like, oh, this is gonna be the best just because like I don't really want to do this. I guarantee you 100% in the long term, it may suck in the beginning, but in the long term, just getting your nutrition foundation set, done, you know what you need to do for your body, all of that from the beginning is going to be so beneficial. So for instance, just like trying to get in protein just with plant and animal sources, so not using protein powder. The only supplement that I honestly would suggest using in the beginning that I did was pre-workout or creatine. I use pre-workout just for convenience's sake, but you only really need creatine. So that's what I would say. Definitely get your nutrition, because now I'm like, now that I don't use any protein powder whatsoever now, and I'm learning that like when they say they're supplements, they're very much supplements. Like once you have your goal set and you can meet that goal, but you just need like that little extra. So like for instance, I try to get in 140 grams of protein every single day. If I, for whatever reason, wanted to, you know, just kind of like add add in another 20 grams and I just, you know, it's just not like working out like with my schedule and everything. Protein powders are supplements for their convenience's sake. It's just so that like on top of my normal daily schedule, I want that extra 20 grams, I can just go to the cabinet, grab the protein powder, chug that. There you go. Very little calories, still probably meet my calorie goals, get in a little extra protein. I'm good. I got to my goal. I didn't have to do too much extra work outside of like what I was doing, but like it just don't, y'all. Just don't. Obviously, you're gonna do what you want to do. If you're trying to gain muscle or just put on weight in general, it's a little bit different. I would say yes and no, but at the same time, definitely just try and do all of your calories, all of your proteins without protein for at least a month. Just try it for at least a month. It's gonna be difficult the first few weeks and days just because it's something new, but once you like start doing it all the time, you really kind of get used to it and like it's not as difficult as with all habits. Next thing, well, these are kind of tips within side of the things that I wish I had done. Technically, this is like tip number 5. One thing that I wish I had definitely done was, sorry for the whiteout, but I definitely wish I had gotten a kitchen scale. The scale I use, I just got from Target. It was like $19. It's a Scally, I don't know, just like one of the cheapest scales I could possibly find. And honestly, it is so beneficial. You guys, you were eating way more than you probably think, especially if you're trying to cut. You're probably well overeating. I was definitely, as soon as I added in the scale for tracking calories, I lost a few pounds just from that. Just from actually tracking calories accurately with a scale, I was able to lose like a good 5 pounds. Like honestly, it is the biggest game changer I have added into my routine when it comes to fitness, and I will probably never not use a scale. Like I don't care if people are like, wow, you're really like OCD or like whatever. I'm like, I got goals. I'm trying to meet my goals and I'm gonna do what I need to do to meet those goals. There's nothing wrong with using a scale to track your food. So don't let people tell you that you're overreacting or you have like some eating disorder because you're like literally using a scale to track your food. Most people can't tell you what 4 ounces of chicken looks like accurately. And so don't let anybody try and come for you for trying to meet your goals and, you know, learn. And yeah, definitely add in a kitchen scale. It's a little tip number 5, I guess, of my 4. It's a little tip number 4 of my original list. Definitely. So this is what I did. I started with my own routine. I created my own routine. I actually even did a video on how I created my own routine. However, if you are completely new, I would highly suggest not doing that, actually, like whatsoever. I was just showing you guys how I make my routines. Right now, I'm running an established program just because A, to give it a try, B, I was tired of my old thing. I'm running the 531 program. It's very well known. If you haven't already, go check out r/fitness on Reddit. It has literally everything you could possibly desire. It is by far, I cannot tell you guys how much I've been missing out in terms of strength and optimizing and just like progression by having created my own routine. Again, there's nothing wrong with it. It's not optimal, but it's like, if you're a beginner, it's just not the best, I'll say. But yes, like I didn't, when I made my first routine, I didn't take into account progression. So like how, like I was doing progressive overload, so just increasing the weight or the reps every single time. But eventually you will slow down in that and you'll like reach a plateau just because you're gonna reach an exhaustion. And so doing the 5-3-1 program, A, took out me having to think about actual, you know, like stuff. It was all done for me. B, took into account progression. So now I have a very, very good progression. And 3, you're probably actually going to end up doing more volume. So if you're trying to train for hypertrophy or, you know, muscle mass specifically, you're gonna probably have more volume with a actual program than you are with just creating your program. Because even though you can do a lot of research and say, okay, I need to do this amount of sets, this amount of reps per week for this type of volume overload, you're not gonna actually be spot on with that, and you're not gonna take into account muscle fatigue, which is something that I really didn't. And the good thing about the 5-3-1 is it takes into account training max, which helps with muscle fatigue, the number of sets, the number of reps. I'm doing about 10, yeah, I'm doing roughly about almost 9,000 to 10,000 more pounds in volume. Half of that is just because I actually, you know, do leg exercises now. So please take that into account. So it's just overall, it's going to help starting with a pre-done program by an established personal trainer, bodybuilder, power lifter, whichever one. Just go find one. Like honestly, whatever you find is going to be better than you creating your own program, like 100%. And that is coming from someone who made their own program, showed you guys how I make my own programs, and I'm still telling you, don't do that. So don't do it. Just don't do it. Don't do it. Stop. I see you. You are right now thinking about what you should do for your own program. Don't. Just go find a pre-made program. I'm not saying do this, but there are ways to get programs for free that you would normally have to pay for. And so do with that as you will. I don't condone that. Don't do it. Don't steal. Don't pirate things. But all I'm saying is there are ways and people do them. Yep. So as usual, guys, it is your boy, Matt Turner. If you liked this video or you found some of the content in it helpful, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. Share this with somebody. I'm sure there is someone that could benefit from these tips. Let me down in the comment section some things that you wish you had probably done differently in the beginning of your program. In addition, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification button so you can stay up to date on when I post videos. I'm trying to get back into being more routine about that. I know I've been a little bit sporadic. As you can see, I kind of fell off with my Monox journey, and that is for a good reason. I do have it on my face right now, but I stopped for a little while, so that's why I didn't update it for quite some time, so I might get back into that. I have referral codes for Transthetics. Go use them so that all of the commissions that I get for that can go towards another giveaway, because I loved being able to do the last one with Real Magic, and I would love to see what type of giveaway you guys want in the future, so also put that in the comment section down below. Go watch my other videos. I never say that. Go watch my other videos. I have tons of videos. Go watch one of them, and comment on that one and like that one as well. But anyways, ending it here. I hope you guys had a great morning, evening, day, or night, wherever you are, and I will see you guys next time.